Hey vlog! So my sister, who is, well, one is not pictured. This one is Carrie. This one is my mom. I know she looks like my sister, but she's not. She's my mom. So my one sister just bought me this beautiful hank of incredibly bright pink yarn. I'm going to make her a flamingo for her daughter, and I'm so excited. Ah! Hello vlog! So I am back in Missouri at an awesome vacation break thing with my mom and my sisters. It's a lot of fun. It is good to be back home. It's taken me a little bit of time to get into the swing of things just because there was a lot to do. So I didn't have as much time to crochet this week, but I do have some things to show. So we'll get into that. First things first, I made a shelf! Kind of. Here, let me see if I can... Yeah, so it's up off the ground, which is important. My little sheep are below, and then my chair where I sit. Yeah, having it up is important because my 2-year-old likes to play with them, which one side makes me feel bad because it's like, you are making toys for children. Like, of course she wants to play with them. The other side of me is like, but they're mine. And I want to keep them nice. So they're up off the floor. Don't worry, she does have plenty that are her own. She has a lot of test ones and also a couple that I've made just for her and any that she's taken over and they're dirty to the point that I don't want them up here. So she's got plenty of toys. I promise. She is not lacking. So for the show and tell of what I've been working on, I'm going to sit down. So I'm going to adjust some things here. Alrighty, so you guys saw the hot pink hank of yarn that I got in Oregon. And so I've been working on the flamingo. And this is where I am thus far on it. The thing that's been interesting about this is this like roving size is slightly bulkier than this super bulky that I normally use. I mean, if you hold them together, it doesn't necessarily look like that. But the chenille style yarn, it flattens. You know, it squishes down to a smaller size than the roving does. So naturally it would make kind of bigger stitches. And so I've actually been using a 7mm hook because I started with the 8mm and it was at like row 4. I was like, this is going to be huge. So I wasn't sure if I'd have enough yarn to make it if it was huge. So I switched to 7mm hook. So it's a little tighter. Like the feeling of it is a little bit more stiff than my other flamingo. And the other one that is currently in my whip box. But I think it's coming along pretty well. I will say, you can see here on the back where you have the half double crochets that make this curve, and then the slip stitches that form the inside of the curve. I think the stitches show more holes, you know, more gaps than the burnout blanket does. But I do think when this is done, it's going to be really cute. There's a part of me that wanted to be able to, you know, work with this, the wool roving and be able to say like, this is the best. Everyone should switch to this. I'm switching my patterns to this. But it just doesn't behave the same way. And so even though I love the feel of the natural fiber, I love the pigmentation, I'm not going to be switching. I don't think we're to that stage. But it's been really fun to play with and I'm making decent progress. I have learned though, one thing that is going to be a note in my pattern for the flamingo is when you get ready to start the neck, sit down and make the neck all in one sitting. Because crocheting twists as you crochet. It's just the nature of the beast. I've done some research. I've not been able to find anywhere that says this is how you do it perfectly straight. So I mean, I've read things like if you work through just the front loops, that makes it straighter. Or if you're working in a circle, you can, if you join each row with a slip stitch instead of working in a spiral, if you work in the round rather than a spiral, you can just like flip direction each one. I tried that. That didn't look good at all. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm getting a little bit long-winded on this. So, long story short, as you work through the neck, it twists. And so if you don't do it all in one sitting, when you try and like count your rows and you start here and you're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as you get farther down the neck, you're going to start to lose rows because they overlap as they twist. Might be a little confusing. Just make it all in one sitting. That's an important piece. So that's all I've got on the Flamingo thus far, but I'm happy with it. We're going to go play D&D tonight with our friends. We usually do Friday night, but they had something going on. So we're going to do tonight, and I should be able to get some good crocheting done on that, which, would make my niece happy. And then I have made a little bit more progress on the rabbit. So this will be the big rabbit, of course. I am much happier with the shape than I thought I was going to be last time I talked to you guys about it. It's coming along pretty well. So this is profile view. So I've gone ahead and instead of like on my, I don't have any of them showing, but like on the panda or the teddy bear, they have a separate snout. You make the circle of the head and then you stitch the snout on. I feel like rabbits' faces, yes, they do have a snout, but it's so much smaller. I didn't want to make that separate. So you make it at the same time, and then with a little bit of head shaping as you put on the eyes, it'll help bring that even more to a little bit of a point, and then you would embroider on just that same sort of Y that is on the alpaca. So that is the plan for this one. I made modifications to the head from my original version, and I think it works up easier. I've learned some things since last year when I did it. But the body so far is the exact same. And so that's coming along well too. And I'll be completely honest, that is all I've done. Yeah, like I said, I've been pretty busy just trying to get caught up on, my day job and getting back into the swing of things with being with my family. Oh, and we rearranged the house because my husband and I are like compulsive rearrangers, if that's a thing. But it's true, we are. We will just like reach a point where we're like, and the house needs to change. So I'm actually in a completely different room in the house than I have been before. This used to be our bedroom, one of the smallest rooms in the house. But now it's my office. I swapped square footage in my last office for privacy in this office. This one I actually have a door I can shut, which is important when you have a home office, and sometimes you get interrupted so much that like a whole day goes by and you're like, did I get anything done? So sometimes I just need to be able to shut the door and focus. So still new here. I just got the shelves above me up today. It was kind of fun, and I like having all of my animals around me. I'm excited this next week to just get into more crocheting. The 28th, I should be getting all of my patterns back from the people who've been testing them, which will be great. Super exciting. I sent out 2 at the beginning of the month, at the beginning of February, to get tested, the baby sheep and the teddy bear, which was really exciting. And then I cranked out those 3 loveys, the baby or the elephant lovey, the teddy bear lovey, and the sheep lovey. So I've got 5 patterns coming back from testers that I will need to get updated and, you know, make sure that they're as good as I can get them before they go up for sale. So I've got my work cut out for me this next little bit, but I'm planning on getting those patterns published early March, early first 2 weeks-ish. So I guess that's early to middle. Not the end, but, you know, beginning-ish of March is the plan. So I'm looking forward to that. And we'll see what I have to show you next week. Stay tuned. Well, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye!